Oh, look what we have here. Oh. That little booger broke off. That shit happens sometimes. So, I'm going to replace them all. I'm replacing them all because this is an old truck. It's got a lot of miles on it. It's been around a little while. And I don't want to deal with trying to beat these damn studs in, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the hub out, replace the seal, inspect the bearing, and then put it all back together new. I had a discussion with somebody about this one time, and I asked them, there's just no way of doing this without having a lot of frustration pulling the brake shoes off and laying on your side trying to beat it. So I'm just going to pull them out. I'm taking this whole hub off. The benefit is gets a new seal and the bearings get inspected. I talked to a guy that did some work on one of these before, and I asked him about that, and he goes, well, I ain't changing them seals. I said, well, you got the wheel apart. You might as well go in there and inspect the wheel bearing and put a new seal on it. That way you don't have that issue. Well, that's too much trouble, he said. I said, okay, we'll wait till it breaks or wait till it does whatever. I would just rather do it like this and make it happen. I've learned in the past as time went by that these damn wheel seals can pop anytime they want to. And when that happens, well, you know what happens. So, if I'm doing brake shoes, I'm doing a wheel seal. If I'm doing something like this, I'm doing a wheel seal and inspecting the bearings. Those are common wear items that constantly wear all the time. And they take the most abuse of the whole truck. So, it only makes sense. I think the biggest mistake they made was taking these drums and putting them on the outside. Because the old drums were on the inside and you had to take them apart when you did the brake shoes. So it forced you to do all the inspections and stuff like that. I think that was the biggest mistake in the world they ever made. But nevertheless, I'm doing old school. Let's get this thing done. Okay, let's get this axle out. That's a good one, but this one here, the damn stud come out. I hate it when they do that shit. This one didn't even have a damn washer behind it. And all these motherfuckers with the studs come loose. I hate that shit, man. One, two, three, four, five. 5 of them. Oh, fuck. I like to mark the bolts, the ones that they come out of, because these sometimes they're a little different in depth, so I just mark them, and that way if I can't get these apart, I'm gonna run them right back in their same hole. I just don't like doing that because these coarse threads are not, they can't take the torque the same way like the fine thread does. And these here were designed to be seated in first, and then the torque was supposed to be put on this end of the bolt. So that's why I do that. But I mean, this is steel housing, so it's not aluminum. It'll probably be okay. Some of them fuckers are aluminum, man. I've seen them pull out big time. I don't know if you noticed, but all that silicone came out of these holes. You're supposed to have that shit in there. Let's see if we gotta build up back here. Yeah, there's a little bit. That's not too bad. We'll see what happens when we pull it apart and see what's inside. You gotta be careful with that damn silicone, man. That shit. It can be good, but then it can be worth the shit. You know what I mean? Cause you trouble. Yeah. Yeah, I think I got that problem. All right, let's pull that axle. Well, I just busted this thing loose, and it is aluminum housing. That trash down in there. You gotta be careful with them damn things, because they will damn sure strip out. And this is what I pulled off. That shit shouldn't come off like that, man. Anyways, I wanted to show you how I pulled that axle off, but I guess I didn't hit the record button. Oh well. Alright, I'll be back in a second. This has a double nut system. See them little tabs? They bend over. This one was bent over, looked like shit. And that one was bent over, still looked like shit. But nevertheless, I'll break them loose real quick. Yes or no? I'm gonna try it. Fuck it. Normally, we just use the big breaker bar and pop them loose, but you know, let's see. We'll just take it apart. Let's see what happens there. Easy, Charlie. Easy, Charlie. Oh, look. It worked. No damage done. That little taper. Always on the outside. Whoa, damn, I don't know. That one's a little snug. You'd think that'd be free spinning, you know what I mean? Anyways, here comes the oil. Come on up. See how that's bearing. Should it look good? Yes? Nope. Little trash. Comes right off. Yep. See, looks good. That's some sticky shit. They got that good shit in there. Alright, we'll pull this hub out. Alright, that's all. The 5-gallon bucket works really good for that shit. Just sits right there on the edge. Let it all drain out. See it there, baby. Feels good. We'll let that drain for a little bit and then we'll pull it apart. I like this little tool right here. That bad boy right in there. Boom. All right, I'm gonna take that hub, stick it down into this brake drum. That way I can stabilize it. And I'll put that damn, that puller in there. There she goes. I hope this thing don't give me a hard time. Sometimes these things work good. Sometimes they're a bitch. Hold on one second. Let's see if I can get this. That motherfucker wasn't being nice. Had to rip it completely apart. Inside looks good. All right, we're in good shape. It's a little dirty, we'll wipe it out. Yeah, fucked up. I should have drove them studs out while the hub was on there. It would have been easier. Anyways, I'm not gonna go through the process, show you. I'm gonna just beat them all out. I got a few of them out already, so it's a fucking workout. All right, looking at these surfaces, a lot of people don't do this, but I do it anyways because I think it matters. You get a little bit of build up and grime and shit on them. See that? I know a million people don't touch that shit, but I got to. So I'm going to clean them surfaces so that they match up really nice and smooth. And then that way I don't have any imperfections in the contact points. Over here, I took a wire brush on a drill. Still got a little I mean, you know what, it's not that important, but to me it is. So I changed it out, put this bad boy on there because I was going to use a grinder and didn't want to fuck it up, and that's the results I got. It's a lot nicer. Say action.
Go.
This here is the wire brush area, and this is the wire knot wheel. You can see the difference right here. Alright, got that nice and smooth. It's not perfect, but it's close enough. And then I'm gonna take that in there, and we're gonna put some studs in. God dang it. I put the you hear that? Did you get it? Did you get it? Hit it, man. It didn't bottom yet.
Hmm?
Did you hear it that time?
Yeah.
Okay. There, that was in there. Hit that one. What's the matter? That thing wearing you out, nigga?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, yep, it bottomed out. There you go. Now listen, I know some of y'all don't agree with this, but that's what I do right there. I don't care what they all say. This works for me. I don't put a whole lot in there. Just put a little bit on the outside. That's it. It's not packed. It's not anything like that. Just enough to put it in there and get some grease on there, hold it there for a little bit. Stick it in there. Work it around a little bit. Get that all nice. Feel how nice and smooth that is. Oh boy. Alright. Let her go. I know some of y'all put gook around there and shit, but I don't do that. I don't want no shit down in my stuff. I ain't never pulled a new one out that had it in there other than unless somebody else put their hands on it. But this is how I do it. Hear the difference? Did you hear the sound?
You got to make sure it's all cleaned off for your seal. Go on.
Yes, can't have no burrs or anything on there. Take a little bit of grease off of here. Got around that little seal right there, just enough to give it a little bit so it's not dry, but we don't want it saturated with bullshit. We just want it to so it slips on there. We don't need it wet or anything like that because it's going to work like a wiper. Alright. Now we stick this on here. Slide it on. Be careful not to touch the seal. Now we just went on that first surface. Now we're going to take this and put it in there and use the nut. Now let's get it nice and square. And we're going to use the nut to pull it on. Alright. And with that, and the seal's going on nice and square, doing its thing. Look how nice that looks. Brand new, baby. It's studs. It's getting ready. It's almost that time. We're going to put a lock nut on there in the back, lock washer. Then we'll put that housing on, but I think I'm going to put the brake drum on right now.
Got the brake drum on now.
Fix to put this axle in right here.
Yep. Lining off.
Trying to get these studs. This is the last stud, getting it, putting it, countersinking it in. Just go ahead, Bradley, get that. See that stud moving? We want to bury that stud till it stops. Alright, that sounds good right there. Alright, hold on. Break it loose. Take that nut out. Take that other one out. Go ahead. Alright, now all the studs are all down all the way. Right where they're supposed to be. We had 5 of them that came out, and we wanted to bury these studs in first before we put the bolts back on it because we don't want the stud twisting and pulling all the torque out of this damn hub, because it'll pull this fucking threads out of here if you don't do it like that. I know I see people doing it like that, but I've experienced it. That shit'll pull right back out. I don't care how anybody else does it. This is how I do it, and I don't overdo it. because I don't want that shit all out of the damn thing like it was. And this just like kind of like painting with your finger. You don't need much. That surface is nice and clean. You just do it and don't gop it all up like these guys are run beads all the way down. You don't need a fucking bead. This shit pushes it all out. All you gotta do is just paint that motherfucker. Sir?
Good. See how he just slaps it on there? Nice and thin. Pablo Picasso himself.
Pablo Picasso? Who's that?
A painter.
Oh.
A famous painter from back in the day. Like hundreds.
Oh. So now that's who you are? That's a nice little paint job right there. Nice and thin. Ain't gonna come out. Okay, Brandon, you think you can slide it in there? You know what the fuck you're doing?
Yeah.
That ain't how you do it, but go ahead. You gotta push down on it. Push down. Alright, never mind. You want me to do it? Hold on.
You just slide it up in there, old son.
Old son, huh?
Old son.
Got her up in there.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, this motherfucker's gonna be a pain in the ass. There it is.
See, get up in there. You see that? Oh, look at that, old son. Get it nice and even. See how he does it, old son? How he goes diagonal from each other? Tighten it down.
You see that little tiny line right there? It goes all the way around. That little tiny line right there. That's perfect. See? Not too much, just enough. And I promise you, the inside looks exactly the same as that.
Last but not least, cleaning all the surfaces. Put the tire back on. Make all the connection points smooth and good.
Woo!
See, you rock the tire back and forth.
Rock it back and forth.
This is how the old man does it, right here.
Is that how you do it?
Where's the bar? The bar's over there.
No, what do we got to do now?
You got to get the bar and pull out the bottom.
I think you got to jack it up.
Okay. Hold on. Pause and podcast. Resuming podcast. That's how the old man puts the tire back on.
Resuming podcast. Is that what you said?
Look at that shit. Old son. That's how you do it, old son.
So your cousin don't know shit. He ain't old enough to know shit. He's just like you. He don't know shit.
See how he puts the bar up on there? Look at that. Lifts up the tire. Turns the tire. Lifts up. That's how you do it, old son. Ain't that right, shorty?
That's right. There's the damage. 100%. It's It's ready now. Let's get out of here. See you later. Oh, look what we have here. Oh. That little burger broke off. That shit happens sometimes. So, I'm gonna replace them all. I'm replacing them all because this is an old truck. It's got a lot of miles on it. It's been around a little while. And I don't want to deal with trying to beat these damn studs in, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the hub out, replace the seal, inspect the bearing, and then put it all back together new. I had a discussion with somebody about this one time, and I asked them, there's just no way of doing this without having a lot of frustration pulling the brake shoes off and laying on your side trying to beat it. So I'm just going to pull them out. I'm taking this whole hub off. The benefit is gets a new seal and the bearings get inspected. I talked to a guy that did some work on one of these before, and I asked him about that, and he goes, well, I ain't changing them seals. I said, well, you got the wheel apart. You might as well go in there and inspect the wheel bearing and put a new seal on it. That way you don't have that issue. Well, that's too much trouble, he said. I said, okay, we'll wait till it breaks or wait till it does whatever. I would just rather do it like this and make it happen. I've learned in the past as time went by that these damn wheel seals can pop anytime they want to. And when that happens, well, you know what happens. So, if I'm doing brake shoes, I'm doing a wheel seal. If I'm doing something like this, I'm doing a wheel seal and inspecting the bearings. Those are common wear items that constantly wear all the time. And they take the most abuse of the whole truck. So, it only makes sense. I think the biggest mistake they made was taking these drums and putting them on the outside. Because the old drums were on the inside and you had to take them apart when you did the brake shoes. So it forced you to do all the inspections and stuff like that. I think that was the biggest mistake in the world they ever made. But nevertheless, I'm doing old school. Let's get this thing done.